Welcome to History Unveiled, the podcast where we dive deep into events that shaped our world. We're your hosts,
Olivia, Cheyenne,
and Michaela. Today we're exploring the pivotal moment in American history, the Boston Tea Party.
So it all started on December 16th, 1773, and basically the tensions between the American colonists and the British government were at an all-time high at this point. And the funny thing is that a series of taxes imposed by Britain on the colonies without their consent, which might be a little important, is really what caused all this. And it's famously summarized by the rallying cry, "No taxation without representation!"
Oh, so that's where that came from. Seeing here, I just thought that it was a saying that was created because they wanted to get rid of taxes.
Well, you're halfway right. They wanted to get rid of extra taxes Britain was imposing on them.
But that's only because Britain was already taking so much from them, and they weren't really able to keep anything for themselves.
That makes more sense. See, I knew that they were taking a lot from the colonies. I just didn't realize that that was where the no taxation without representation came from. But thanks for the clarification.
The most contentious of these taxes was the Tea Act, passed earlier this year. It granted the British East Indian Company a monopoly on tea sales in the colonies, allowing them to undercut local merchants. While it actually lowered the price of tea, it was seen as another example of Britain's overreach.
So you're telling us that Britain gave the monopoly of tea to someone else?
See, I know about this one. I do know some stuff, guys.
Okay.
Basically, without going into detail, Britain handed the tea sales monopoly to East India Company to help it out financially, keep a grip on the colonies, and make sure that it was getting the same economic advantages.
So they were truly like a greedy narcissistic mother that'll disappear and then show up when you finally have some money to mooch off you.
And you would have some experience with this?
No.
But here come the Sons of Liberty, a group of patriots led by figures like Samuel Adams and John Hancock. They saw the Tea Act as a direct threat to colonial autonomy. They saw the Tea Act as a direct threat to colonial. I don't know
who wrote this, but we are not that smart.
It was me?
No.
Autonomy, that's how you say that?
Autonomy.
Okay. Yeah. They saw the Tea Act as a direct threat to colonial autonomy. On the night of December 16th, they took action.
All right.
They were disguised as the Mohawk Indians. This was a symbolic gesture to represent their American identity. Around 60 members of the Sons of Liberty boarded 3 ships docked in the Boston Harbor: the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver. Their mission? To destroy the tea before it could be unloaded and sold.
Dang. So, over the course of 3 hours, they dumped 342 chests of tea into the harbor, and that's about 92,000 pounds of tea, worth nearly $1 million today. And this act of defiance was not just about tea, it was a bold statement against British tyranny.
You've got to be joking. There's no way that they tossed 92,000 pounds in the harbor on 3 different boats with 60 men. That's 20 men per boat. That's not enough people to throw 900...
900?
Oh my... 9,000!
No, still not!
92,000! Oh my gosh!
You're probably going to say that spot there.
92,000 pounds of tea. That's 46 tons of tea. That's basically 46 cars.
I don't know, man. They made it happen.
Look at you kind of doing math.
Bro, why did I keep getting picked on this whole episode? Anyways, I'm calling Kat. There's no way. Someone had to have been lying on these records when they wrote it down.
I'm calling Kat.
That's why I wrote it down.
Anyways, the Boston Tea Party had far-reaching consequences. In response, the British government enacted the coercive Okay, we're starting that again. The Boston Tea Party had far-reaching consequences. In response, the British government enacted the Coercive Acts, known in America as the Intolerable Acts. That is much easier to say. With further restricted colonial freedoms and fueled the fire of
Fueled the fire of revolution.
Fueled the fire of revolution.
So this event really fired up the colonies, causing them to come together to form the First Continental Congress, and that kickstarted the American Revolutionary War. The Boston Tea Party is still seen as a strong symbol of resistance and the struggle for independence.
Outro music. Thanks for joining us on this historical journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave us a review. Join us next time as we uncover more stories from the past that continue to shape our present. Until then, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And take care.
Woo!